Let's develop some attack plans with the arming sword. Hello HEMA friends, and welcome to this new episode of our Arming Sword Beginner's Guide. Today we are going to give a look to some attack plans. We are going to start with simple attacks, and then we are going to make compound actions, taking in consideration the first parry of the opponent. To be ready to understand what I am going to explain right now, you need to see at the very least the first episode of this series, in which I explain the poste, the position that you have to assume at the beginning and at the end of every single action. The first action starts with our opponent in posta longa, which is threatening us with the blade extended forward. Instead, we are in right breve, and to approach the opponent, we go for a hand snipe, basically, trying to thrust into the opponent's hand. Now, pay attention that while ideally this action should be delivered as a thrust, you are going to thrust at the palm of the opponent, which means that in training is something relatively dangerous to do. So try to instead modify your thrust into a false edge if you're going to strike it in a fast way. Or if you go slowly, go for the actual thrust to the palm. A common reaction against a hand snipe is to flee with the hand backward or downward sometimes. And here we are going to prepare us for this kind of situation. First of all, we train our next action as a standalone one. The opponent is in porta di ferro and we are in posta di donna, over our head. And we strike a Mandritto fendente for the opponent's head against this kind of invitation. Now we are going to unite these two simple actions into a compound one, which takes in consideration the reaction of the opponent. First of all, we thrust for the opponent's hand when the opponent is in longa. Then the opponent flees in porta di ferro, and we use this time to charge a Mandritto fendente and deliver it toward the opponent's head. Now we are going to use the same approach, but on the other side. So our opponent is still in posta longa. All of the variations of posta longa are the same, more or less, in these regards. And we are in posta di sottobraccio. We are going this time to attack the opponent with a false edge strike, be it a sottano or a mezzano, for the opponent's hand. The next exercise replicates the second situation. So our opponent is this time in posta di donna sinistra, and we attack still from our posta di donna over the head. Now we deliver this time a reverso fendente, which is the best attack, which takes in consideration the positioning of the opponent and also is the one which occupies one of the best quadrant while attacking this kind of posta. Very good, so let's unite the two actions into a compound one. So first of all, we strike the opponent's hand with our false edge strike from posta di sottobraccio. The opponent flees into posta di donna sinistra, and then we keep going using the momentum of our action with a reverso fendente for the opponent head. Very good. Now we have learned how to attack the shallow target, the extended target, so the hand of the opponent, to open up the possibility to strike at the deep target. But of course, not in every situation it is possible to do this kind of thing. If the opponent is in a guard, which is not extended forward, we have to strike directly to the deep target at first, to then maybe open up the option for another action, again on the deep target, generally speaking. So in this case, our opponent is in posta di donna destra and we are going to strike a thrust at him, taking in consideration the most probable attack line of that guard, which is a Mandritto fendente. So we strike a thrust into left bicorno to oppose this possible attack. Our second simple attack this time is against an opponent in posta di sottobraccio. We are still attacking from our posta di donna altera over our head, and we strike again a reverso fendente against this kind of guard. Even if the exercise is similar to the previous one, I would advise you to go for it anyway, because you have to be able to recognize at first glance both the situations while fighting. Very good, you know the drill, so let's create our compound action now. First of all, we strike at the opponent's head with our thrust. The opponent redirects the fendente into a parry, going toward posta di sottobraccio. On the parry of the opponent, we charge our second attack for the opponent's head. We can also add, if possible, a controlling action with our left hand, by pushing on the opponent's elbow if it is easy to reach. In this way, we control the opponent's possible afterblow if the opponent is going to strike at us in whatever kind of way. Generally speaking, maybe a reverso mezzano with the true edge. By controlling the opponent's elbow, we control the opponent's sword. But don't be obsessed by this kind of controlling motion. If the arm is easy to reach, you go for the controlling action. Otherwise, you simply strike the reverso fendente and you flee from the opponent. Very good, people, we have seen some attacking actions, both simple and compound. The next time we are going to develop further our defensive game. Thanks for watching as always. Remember to check my Patreon, link in the description if you want to support me and the channel, and of course if you want to see more of my content. Thanks for watching as always, and see you next time.